Good afternoon. My name is Fabrice SAPORTA. I'm the editor-in-chief of EMBALLAGE magazine, and it's my pleasure to be the moderator of the fourth Innovation Lab Startup Generation. This afternoon today is Thursday, November 17th, and we're at ALL4PACK Paris, Philippines. On Monday, we had the 4.0 revolution. On Tuesday, we saw how we could reinvent water consumption. On Wednesday, we took a new look at the supply chain. And today, we're going to see how we can streamline and standardize production and with tools of the 4.0 generation. I have Tiziano Polito, editor-in-chief of EMBALLAGE magazine, in charge of production technologies, and Loïc DOUSSAL, founder of Usitab, a startup. Loïc, how did you ever end up in this capacity? Hi, my name is Loïc DOUSSAL. I'm a former industrialist, and I work in the food industry, a leader on the market. I spent 6 years with Coca-Cola and a few years at McCormick. So you are fully aware of how things are done in large companies and large-scale plants. So how did you ever come up with the idea of a company that would think about managing production and steering production? Is it ERP? No. What we do is we try and facilitate anything that can be interfaced with these ERPs, those softwares. And when there's no software of that kind, we use our own to be able to enhance the performance. Well, to make things clear, what we're talking about is a solution to manage the resources of the company: human resources, material resources, the resources used for production. Well, there seemed to be, when I was a production manager, there seemed to be huge request of tasks to do that were meaningless, and they didn't know really what it was meant for, what this data was used for, whether it was dead data or not. So from your experience in production, you realize that the operators had little autonomy. Yes, with the induced effect that they have no decisions to make, and there's a cost that goes along with them. How could we make them be aware of what this information was made for, was useful for, and how they could make the best decisions? So you've designed machines with servo engines, and that can be automated. Well, the first question is, or would be, to figure out how this software is different from what is done on these machine. Mechatronics is a set of components that communicate with a central processing unit. What more does your solution offer? Well, it's a plug and production in 1 hour. We have Usitab, connected objects, little boxes that are going to find the critical parameters. This is what you call the Usitab box.
Sur les tablettes numériques pour que les opérateurs, les opératrices prennent des décisions en temps réel. Et ensuite, c'est supervisé et analysé.
Now, this information is supervised and analyzed by software that is secured on a website, so that the methods to analyze the data can be retained. These are services, and that we provide advice, and we use these new technologies to make the methods fully transparent and usable. Usitab is a combination of usine in French, plant in French, and tablet, right? Let me ask you the following question. In view of the different types of software that are available, very often we talk about synthetic rate of return, rate of productivity. Industrialists want to know whether what they invest is going to be profitable. Is this an idea that you've worked with? Yes, we follow the critical parameters. We follow them. That means a filling volume in the food industry, the number of bottles that the machine produces per hour. Are these statistics only statistics? No, it's both. We're going to use the elements of information. We're going to treat them statistically, and we're going to inform the operator if the machine carries on like that, there will be insufficient filling of the containers. And in that case, is the operator going to change something on the machine, or can you have a direct action on the machine? Excellent question. We decided, and this was our decision, that it would be the operator who would be the recipient of the information. We think it's important that they know what they're doing, and they need to act. They need to qualify the problems. They need to solve the problems in view of the different interfaces that they might have on the machines. Do your operators need to be trained to use these tools, or is it just that simple that they don't need particularly? No, I mean, you can install it in a couple of minutes, this Usitab, and you can train the operators or the trainers in one day. I mean, training is more about the methodology than and visual management. I mean, when I look at your box, I'm wondering how you connect it. Is it connected with cables, or is it Bluetooth? Is it Wi-Fi? And what do you connect it to? Well, this black box, as you say, is connected with a cable to any machine that is a control machine, weighing scales or anything else, to any machine that takes dimensions, or a little cell that counts the units produced. And the black box communicates via Wi-Fi to a tablet. Do you need as many boxes as you have machines, or can a box follow several machines? Well, it all depends on the Wi-Fi coverage. I mean, it's 10 to 15 meters. We send the data to tablets that are mobile. Well, the operator inside the plant has the black box, which is connected via Wi-Fi to the Wi-Fi network of the plant. And all the thing is administered, and we have the data in real time on a web server. Tiziano. Yes, I have a question on the tablet. Everybody uses the systems and the different functionalities of touch screens, which allow you to move on, to zoom in. And operators, just with a phone, even if they haven't been trained, can use a tablet. What have you thought of in terms of ergonomy to allow users to get the information they need and to give the following orders to other operators if necessary? We're very user-friendly. We're similar to very simple software, pieces of software that are used by everybody. And they receive notifications if the information changes, if something is outlying, and they can create the document themselves. And they can create a template in the field. They can take a picture, and it's uploaded into the system. These are the types of documents that you see and that the user is going to deal with. See, you receive a new machine. You say you have a senior expert leaving for retirement. You want to capitalize the knowledge of this person leaving the company. You take pictures. The client is going to do a to-do list, and in 5 minutes, we just create a template for an operating mode that is used within the company. It's simple. It's really simple, and you have it's much simpler than a top-down setting of parameters. Yes, what we're trying to do is make things simple, fill the voids, so that the information is always up to date. I had a question as to the usefulness of photographs and videos. We know that operators like to use tools with photos or videos. Instead of saying, go and get the red cable at the back of the machine in this quarter, a single photo can show them where they have to intervene if necessary and where they can find the cable. Is this possible with your system? Yes, it's at the core of the system, especially when we're trying to show discrepancies or outlying data. We take a picture and show where the problem lies, and this goes back, is uploaded either to the people who are responsible, who are in charge of the maintenance, and then we go much faster to solve a problem. Okay, talking about a startup, an entrepreneur, we saw on screen that you won an Oscar for the packaging, and you hadn't yet created your company. It was still in the pipeline. It was only a project. Now that you've launched yourself on the market and with a tool to control production, when there are huge players like SAP position on the market, are you unconscious or over courageous? No, I think that it's all about validating one's own idea. Now, how do you do that? You need to be the king of the pitch, the 2-minute elevator pitch, or of course you learn that. There are all sorts of training modules to help you create your business, to how to do a pitch, to go through interviews, to take part in contests, and then you get your first customers, and little by little you get there. What's the most difficult element? I know that everything's difficult. I mean, creating a startup is like running a marathon while trying to tie your shoelaces, and I think that's a good image. Money is an issue, of course. Where do you find the finances? You have to keep passing the hat around. Yes, well, you have to generate revenues, you have to have working capital, you have to raise more capital, and this is something we did in 2007, the first one in 2006. How much was the first one? 100,000 euro, just to get the R&D up and running. And the second round of capital raised was to staff the marketing department and our salespeople. We're starting to work with key accounts, and we are positioned as the startup of the 4.0 plant, because we're right at the beginning of the 4.0 plant in France. So you think that your project is going to be part of a general trend and that you just jumped on at the very beginning or even initiated things? Yes, absolutely. I think it's important to tell industrialists what is going on, to tell them that they can try it on a very small perimeter, and to show them that in 3 or 4 months' time they can have an immediate return on investment that is worthwhile installing. And go digital, and don't miss the train, don't miss the revolution. Now, what is your life made of? Well, all of the above, all that you mentioned, going to visit plants, meet with many people. I'm meeting people from consulting firms, operational excellence specialists. These are the people who don't or not used to use a lot of software. And they help us find customers. With Tiziano, we saw that very often when you work with a solution for improving the operation that is produced by the management, you move on the same way. But in your business, don't you have a solution in how you can rethink your production, how you can question some stages? And isn't this the first hurdle? Yes, it is. Of course, it's like a mini project or project in a company. Say we work with a company that is going to control everything at every single stage, is controlling everything, inputting data and more data. And with this kind of tool, you're going to say, okay, well, we're going to help this company get the data, and we're going to help them be able to analyze the data. It's not a problem. We only need to spend time with the operators and keep close to them. Tiziano, how many people are there in your company? 4? 4, well, 10 altogether. And very soon, we're going to be 8. You start alone, and already you're 8. It's not a startup, it's a small company, isn't it? What about the rollout? How are you organizing things? Do you organize a pilot project? Does your customer need to invest? How does it work? The usual process is the following. We meet with a client or potential client. We try and see where we're going to install the pilot. Is the production team going to work with us? Are they going to take part and give us their return, their feedback? There going to be some return on investment. We meet with the CFO. We work with all the people in the company, and then we test the pilot, and we see what the result is after 4 months. What about your intrusion? We say you barge into a company that thinks they operate very smoothly. Or you tell them you're going to change everything, or you need to reassure them. Well, people in the business are ready to listen, and we're there to provide solutions for them internally. Our quality assurance people are the prescribers. Well, Tiziano and I are very interested in the 4.0 industry, and we're interested in standards now. Does your solution, your software, does this adapt to everything, chips, servo engines, or do you need to do a bit of setting of the parameters to adapt them? No, only with sensors and data you can just install the box and it communicates with whichever piece you put it next to. What kind of advice would you give to any young person, well, not even young, but any person, a newcomer in the business? What do they need to start with? They need to check the validity and the relevance of the project, or do they need to get the advice of a colleague or somebody from the outside? Yes, well, all that you say is true. There's a lot of energy invested and money invested, and it's risky. So it's always important to try and check the idea and to see what those in charge of the industry think, and work with consultants. And the best validation is sales. I mean, it's the bottom line. How many machines have you got set up? We work with 20 or so industries. We have key account customers and large plants within the region. A lot in the bottling industry, and the mobile bottling industry, which is a niche. What's this all about, this mobile bottling industry? These are production lines on trucks that go to production sites. It's like for wines in castles where they go, and they have these so-called mobile bottling units, and the customers like that. Well, this is particularly relevant for wine. Tiziano, you have a question? Yes, I have a question. We know about bottling machines. What can your solution provide to this bottling solution? If, say, you go and see the wine grower, wine producer in the countryside, what is your solution? What benefit is this going to provide? First of all of the controls will be on one document, a PDF file with all the figures, the whole data chart. They're going to have the levels of filling and the dispersion of the filling. Everything will be put into the document automatically. At the headquarters, they can analyze things in real time. There's no paper and full traceability in real time, with real-time optimization if necessary. Tiziano? Well, so that was for bottling. So what else? Which other industry? In the agri-food industry, this is the industry I worked in, and I'm familiar with it. So in the packing and the handling industry, it's the agri-food business are the biggest. And they're lagging behind with their equipment. They seem to be lagging behind. They clearly seem to be the less technical, but we're starting to work with assemblers, and we would like to work in the health industry and with pharmaceutical companies. Can you work with integrators, and will that be the solution in the end? Yes, this is something we're looking into, and we're going to work on very soon. For example, you could train consultants. Yes, we have started. We have set up partnerships with consultants who are going to provide advice on our solutions. And very soon you'll have specialists selling a Usitab all over, and it's going to be a big adventure. We hope so. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck. Farewell. So today is November the 17th. ALL4PACK is coming to an end. This was a trade fair dedicated to packaging in Paris, Villepinte. And for roundtable discussions, Innovation Lab will be available on our website, on YouTube, and in EMBALLAGEmagazine.com. Thank you very much.